Hey, what's up everybody? Dustin here with Rocky Mountain ATV MC, and today I'll be showing you how to install the RZR automatic cam chain tensioner from Tusk. Cam chain tensioners do just that. They keep the right amount of tension on the cam chain. Now, if you were to get too much slack or not enough tension on the cam chain, your valve timing will suffer and turn impeding on your machine's performance, or worse, if the cam chain is to skip a tooth, you run the risk of having a valve come into contact with the piston. Now, there are several different types of tensioners out there, and the tensioner that is on this machine here is a hydraulic tensioner. And basically what that means is the pressure that's applied to the cam chain is generated by the engine's oil pressure. Now, it's not a bad design. However, on startups, if that oil pressure isn't readily available, there won't be enough tension that's being applied to the cam chain until the engine is running and it is generating enough oil pressure. Now, the Tusk automatic cam chain tensioner is a spring-loaded automatic mechanical style of cam chain tensioner, which will maintain the right amount of tension on the cam chain regardless of engine oil pressure. So today we're going to show you how to install it on a 2014 Polaris XP1000. Now keep in mind that this kit will fit a variety of different vehicles from Polaris, but if you'd like to know if this will work on your machine, be sure to check out our website and under the parts finder, enter in your vehicle's information. To do this job, you're just going to need a few basic hand tools. You will want to have a skinny flathead screwdriver, and I'll show you why here in just a second. You will want to have some compressed air, rubber gloves, safety glasses, rags, some contact cleaner, and some grease. Now the kit will come with all the necessary parts to get it installed. Now before installing it, make sure that all the parts have been received and that you have thoroughly read through the provided set of instructions, and make sure that you are familiar with the installation process. To begin, start by removing the key from the ignition to prevent anyone from starting the machine during the installation. Remove the clutch cover. Next, we can remove the rear access panel to access the valve cover. Before removing the oil fill plug, be sure to clean around it with some contact cleaner and a rag. You may also want to use some compressed air. You may need an extra set of eyes to peer through the oil fill plug to observe the cam, as the primary clutch is rotated counterclockwise. Once the cam lobe's nose is pointing upward, you can stop rotating the primary clutch. Before we install the automatic tensioner, we're going to go through some pre-assembly. Now before we do that, I want to show you real quick how the automatic tensioner works. So inside of here it is spring-loaded, and then it has a ratchet system essentially that won't let it retract back into itself. Now, once we get the assembly installed into the machine, we're going to be pulling this locking tab right here out of the tensioner. Now, once we remove this, the tensioner is going to extend, just like that. Now, this is important that we have a smaller flathead screwdriver. As we insert this into the back side of it here, we can rotate it clockwise, and it will begin to retract the tensioner. Now to keep it in the retracted position, we're going to hold pressure on it, hold the body, we're going to pull our screwdriver out and then insert this key. That will help keep it in this fixed position until we have it installed. Now to assemble this, we're going to start by installing this gasket. And then we can place the tensioner assembly into the billet adapter. Insert the two screws. And once you got the fasteners installed into the billet body, we're going to just lightly snug them down. Now on the billet adapter, here where it's going to mate with the backside of the cylinder, we've got a slight shoulder. Now when we go to install this gasket right here, we need to make sure that it stays where it's designed to be put. If it is to seat unevenly, you're basically going to get an oil leak. So to help keep this in place, we're going to apply just a small amount of grease to the shoulder. Now before installing this washer, this squash washer, it has a conical shape to it. When we install this, we want the cone end of it to be installed first onto the billet adapter. The side that will be facing the engine will have a concave contour to it. Make sure that it's seated properly and that it's not getting hung up on the shoulder right here. Then we can take the cylinder, we're going to slide it into the billet adapter, like so. Now we are ready to take it over to the machine and get it installed. Next, remove the OEM tensioner with a 27mm wrench. Make sure to have a rag handy to catch any oil that may come out. With the cam chain tensioner removed, it is very important that you do not rotate the engine. Then we can clean around the area of the tensioner with some contact cleaner and a rag. Next, we can install our automatic tensioner. Now before we install this, we need to make sure that the tensioner itself is in the fully closed position. We do not want to assemble this into the motor with the cylinder or pushrod extending past our billet adapter more than 1/16 to 1/8 of an inch. Now just before you fully seat the billet adapter to the back side of the cylinder, give the gasket a good inspection to make sure that it is seated properly in the area that it's designed to sit. Make sure that it's not hung up on the shoulder of the billet adapter. Make sure to not over tighten the billet adapter as it is aluminum and we don't want it to strip out. Next, we can snug down our M6mm bolts that attach the tensioner to the billet adapter. Next, we can take our pliers and remove the key from the tensioner. Now you should hear the tensioner deploy. If you do not hear it deploy and extend itself, you will need to insert your screwdriver into the end of the tensioner and assist it. Next, we can install the O-ring into the tensioner end and install the M6 flange bolt, then tighten. With the new cam chain tensioner installed, we can now rotate the engine at the primary clutch by rotating it counterclockwise several rotations, and this will ensure proper operation. Then we can reinstall the oil filler cap, rear access panel, then reinstall the clutch cover. And that's it. That's all there is to it when it comes to installing the Tusk automatic cam chain tensioner. Now this will definitely help to eliminate that annoying valve train noise that you hear on startup. Now if you have any questions about what we've done here in this video today, you can give us a call to our tech line and we can give you a hand, or you can leave a comment below and we can get an answer back to you. Now if you've liked this video and you want to see more, make sure to hit the like button, then subscribe to our YouTube channel for more product spotlights, how-tos, and top fives. And also be sure to check out our bike builds. I'm Dustin with Rocky Mountain. Thanks for watching and keep the wrenches turning.